I've worked in the ER as a registered nurse for the past 15 years, and watch people lose their legs. I've watched them go on dialysis. I've watched them have strokes and heart attacks at the age of 40, 50, 60 years old. And almost every single time, it started with a type 2 diabetes diagnosis that nobody took seriously, and nobody educated them on how to reverse it, just handed them more medications. So I'm here right now to tell you, now as a metabolic health coach for the past 2 to 3 years, I'm certified in primal health. What I'm going to tell you today is that type 2 diabetes is not a life sentence, even though you've probably been told that that's what it is. It's actually reversible, and I'm going to explain to you in this video what it is and how to actually do that, okay? I'm going to keep looking down at notes, so if you see me look down, that's what I'm doing. So if you're new to my channel, again, my name is Jamie, and I am now a metabolic health coach. I stepped away from the emergency room because I'm sick and tired of seeing people sick and tired and just handing them more medications and watching them turn around and come back to the ER even sicker, because we're not fixing the underlying root cause, we're managing symptoms. So when you come to the emergency room, simple example here, your blood sugar is 600, or you're having a stroke or heart attack, or whatever is happening from the metabolic dysfunction that you're having from having type 2 diabetes, and insulin resistance, which is the underlying root cause of your type 2 diabetes. So you come in, your blood sugar is 500, 600. We give you medications, fluids, insulin, all these things through the IV. You're admitted to the hospital, and when and if you're lucky enough to get discharged, you leave with probably more medications, more follow-ups, right, to specialized, endocrinologist and or a dietitian, right? And nothing against any of those specialties. They are amazing, and they are amazing at what they do. But what I'm here to tell you, as a registered nurse, seeing this all the time, and now as a metabolic health coach, I'm seeing it from the other side. They're helping you manage your blood sugar. They're not teaching you and helping you actually reverse the root cause of the problem. Okay, so if that's you, if you've been through this medical system, you can throw them in the comments below. Let's see how many of you are out there. I know there's a lot, okay? I've been there. I see it every day. Going back to type 2 diabetes is actually reversible. What does that mean? So over 88, you guys, this is crazy. Over 88% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. Now flip that around. That means that roughly only 12% of Americans are
Healthy? That's like 1 out of 8 people. So think about a room full of people.
1 out of 8 of you are not healthy. And I can tell you, sitting in a room, I can usually pick out all the metabolically unhealthy people. And that has to do with an underlying root cause, most of the time, is an insulin resistance situation. And we're going to explain right now what that is so that you can understand what's happening inside the body. Okay. So insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a situation of blood sugar dysregulation, of an energy dysregulation. Your body is not prioritizing or distributing energy the way that it's supposed to.
Okay, so you have your blood circulatory system, your blood carbs turn into sugar. And carbs are anything but fiber. So think of, your typical ice cream, cookies, chips, sweet stuff, but also we have to understand the starchy carbohydrates like rice, potatoes, right? All of those fruits. Fruit has fructose, that's sugar. So when you eat those, you digest them, it turns into sugar, it raises your blood sugar, right? So now when you eat that, your blood sugar is rising, right? And blood sugar is glucose, is a quick energy source. So in order to get the sugar out of the blood system and actually get it over to cells for cellular energy, so now you have these cells, you have trillions of cells all over your body. A lot of them, not all of them, have insulin receptors for sugar to get into, which takes us to insulin, right? So we have the pancreas. The pancreas gets the signal that, hey, our blood sugar just rised because we had a whole bunch of rice at dinner or pasta. So you have your pancreas produces insulin. Insulin is a hormone, and that's the key to bring the sugar into the cell, right? So now you have insulin coming in. It's like Pac-Man. It takes these glucose molecules, brings it over here, knocks on the cell's door to bring the sugar into the blood, to the cell. So now your cell has energy. So now the glucose is inside the cell. It's no longer elevating the blood, and it's actually doing good and providing energy to this cell, whatever cell that is. It could be your brain, your muscles, your lungs, your intestines, your skin, whatever it is. That cell now has energy. Now, what happens? How do we get resistant to make our blood sugar stay high, right? So why does our blood sugar stay high, and how do we become a type 2 diabetic? Or insulin resistance, which is the root cause of being type 2. You were insulin resistant years before you were a type 2 diabetic. We just don't test a certain blood test called insulin, fasting insulin, to check that, because you would have been, that's a whole nother video I can go over if you want to throw that in the comments on insulin and fasting insulin lab test. Okay, so we eat a carbohydrate, say for breakfast. That's your oatmeal, your bagel, your pancakes, right? Your sugary coffee drink. So we're spiking blood sugar and insulin. Comes back down. This is where you start getting hangry, right? Your blood sugar is dropping because insulin's doing its job. And then we go have a snack, which is the chips from the vending machine, right? Or going to get that sugary drink. Blood sugar comes back down. And then we go and have lunch, which is a sandwich with bread, potato, bread bowl, whatever it is. Spiked your blood sugar again, went through this process, brought it back down. And then you go home and you have dinner, pasta, doing this again, and then you have a snack before bedtime. So this is what you've been doing for decades. I mean, I've been doing it since I was a little girl. With our food pyramid, I was falling asleep in grade school. I remember doing that because I had Cheerios with sugar in it and orange juice. That was my breakfast. So this is how I started my journey on an insulin resistant situation, because what happens over time is that we're spiking this, we're doing this constantly over and over and over again. We keep raising our blood sugar. That's a stress response for the body to get it down. So you're going over and over and over again. Over time, these cells, the receptors, become damaged, right? They can become damaged. These receptors from inflammation, they can become damaged. The cells are full of sugar. They can't take any more. So they start getting overworked and overwhelmed. So this blood sugar is constantly piling up. It's coming out now. It can't control. Your blood sugar can't be controlled like it used to be. Insulin keeps being produced more and more because the pancreas is like, oh my gosh, blood sugar is still high, so let's send out more soldiers. Now you have high insulin levels, which causes all kinds of hormone problems. Hello, PCOS. And if you want more information on that, drop that in the comments. We can go over PCOS too. Now that you understand this in a nutshell, how do we reverse this? You can reverse this. You can fix your cells to have them more sensitive again to insulin. This is what we need to do. And this is going to be the opposite of what you've ever been told. Like if you've gone to any doctor or Western medicine doctor or a dietitian, anything like that that works in the hospital setting, because what they're going to teach you is how to manage your blood sugar, maybe lower carbohydrate foods or the order of your foods, but they're not really going to explain and teach you how to actually fix this. This is the issue. So what we have to do is stop knocking on the door, right? The insulin needs to stop knocking on the cell's door. Stop knocking. And how do you stop knocking on the cell's door? We have to stop eating the carbohydrates and the sugar. So what we do here, and this is what I teach my clients. In a nutshell, this is what I teach my clients and help them implement in their lifestyle, right? Because everybody's lifestyle is different, but this is the basic concept of what I want to go over with you. So step one, we have to lower the carbohydrates. Lower the carbohydrates. And this is roughly 50 grams total. 50 grams total. And this includes fiber, right? So 50 grams total. So that is the pasta, the cereals, the bagels, the breads, the highly processed carbohydrate foods, the fruit. A lot of fruit has fructose in it. We have to understand, even though it's a healthy carbohydrate like potatoes, right? Potatoes are healthy. It's a healthy carbohydrate, but that's a lot of carbohydrates. It's going to spike your blood sugar because the goal is to remember the cell. I'm going to put the cell over here and those insulin receptors. These insulin receptors, they need a break. They need time to heal because it's got all this stored glucose in there that can't be used. We need to allow the cell to release all that glucose, which is glycogen, release it and start healing the receptors, right? We have to start reducing the inflammation and allowing the body to heal. The body wants to heal, you guys. We just have to give it the right inputs to do that. And we're not doing that by eating all of these carbohydrates and spiking insulin and knocking on the door. We got to stop knocking on the door, okay? Number two. Now, what are we going to replace this with? We're going to increase protein, healthy whole food protein, and healthy fats, right? This is going to be your new energy source right here. Healthy fats, you guys. This is not eating bunless burgers from McDonald's and hot dogs all day long. No, you're going to get healthy fats and protein, whole food protein. Healthy fats are like your real butter that just says butter and or cream on the ingredients and maybe some sea salt, olive oil, avocados, nuts and seeds. Full fat, don't get low fat. This is full fat. You're bringing the goodness back into your diet. Full fat plain Greek yogurts, full fat cottage cheeses if you can handle dairy. Whole eggs, you guys. Whole eggs are Mother Nature's multivitamin, okay? So this is how you're going to stay full and satisfied, right? And you're not going to spike the blood sugar. This is the goal, right? We're not going to spike the blood sugar. So your blood sugar is going to start coming down naturally. And then your insulin over time is going to start coming down naturally. And we are going to fix these receptors over time, okay? Number three, if once you start doing this, you're going to start fasting. Because you're not going to be hungry because you're not spiking the sugar. So you're going to be full and satisfied longer. So you're going to start implementing fasting, kind of walking through that. Maybe going 12 hours without eating, maybe 16 hours. And this is where this personalized guidance comes into play because especially with females and female hormones. If you want to learn more about that, you can throw those in the comments as well. And I can do a separate video on that, right? Because we have to worry about women's hormones, especially if you are a cycling female, because certain times of the month we want to not focus on fasting, but it's a whole nother topic, okay? Fourth step, we want to start tracking, right? At some point during our time, we want to start tracking our blood sugar. Go to your doctor and get a fasting insulin test to see where your insulin levels are, right? And this is where personalized guidance can come into play too, because I can help you, educate you on some of the labs and what to ask for with your doctor, because your fasting insulin test, which is never checked, you have to ask for it. This is how we're going to know if you reverse the insulin resistance, because your insulin is the last thing that comes down, right? Your A1C is an average blood sugar of 3 months. Whatever your blood sugar has been doing for 3 months, that's your A1C, which puts you in that bracket of being a type 2 or a pre-diabetic. From there, as we're doing this, your blood sugars are going to start coming down, which is going to affect your A1C. That's going to start coming down. The last fasting blood sugar that usually changes is that morning blood sugar. That's the last one that changes. That's the most frustrating one, but it will eventually come. So we're going to start tracking metrics. The fifth thing, and this is very individualized too, and we have to understand, is movement. you guys, we got to move. Our bodies are designed to move, okay? So exercise comes into play here as well. And this isn't high intensity cardio sessions because that can raise cortisol and spike your blood sugar. So we have to understand what types of exercise we want to start implementing. And the first thing I always get my clients to start doing is just move a little more. Most of the time we're sedentary or we're sitting at desks and not doing a whole lot. So just to get up and start moving is step number one. Do not make this difficult. If you're a sedentary person, go for a 10-minute walk, build up from there. And then I also help with strength training too, because the more muscle we have, the more we can control our blood sugar. And your muscle tissue is your longevity tissue, so we want to start activating that muscle tissue. So exercise is number 5, and then we can keep going there. Sleep and stress, all of those are other lifestyle situations that we need to really look at, because stress spikes cortisol. Cortisol spikes blood sugar, right? If we're not sleeping, we're not repairing. Repairing is during your sleep cycles is when you are repairing, right? When you're regenerating, repairing, and doing all that stuff. So we have to start sleeping better too. And a lot of times when we start going through this process, your sleep starts improving naturally because you're not waking up all the time because your blood sugar is dropping at night, which wakes you up usually at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, or if you have to pee at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I have a separate video on that you can check out right here, all about the late night peeing, which is usually an insulin resistant situation. So that's it, you guys. We got to start understanding to heal the cells, not just managing blood sugar. Okay, you guys, I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you know somebody, because remember, 1 out of 8 Americans have metabolic dysfunction. And what I mean by metabolic dysfunction, just so I can clear this up, is not just type 2 diabetes. It's blood sugar dysregulation, a large waist circumference, like obesity, if you have a lot of weight here, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, high blood sugar. All of those are metabolic dysfunctions. So if you know somebody, and I'm sure that you do, whether it's friends or family or yourself, share this. I want you to share this because it's fixable, right? The medications, even weight loss medications, are not fixing the root cause here. Those are tools to help manage the symptoms. They're not fixing the problem. So you're going to need more and more medications eventually. And if you come off of weight loss medications, you're going to rebound if you didn't fix the lifestyle that's happening, causing the dysfunction. Okay, we need to heal. We need to heal the cells. Your body wants to heal, okay? So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. If you're looking for a coach to guide you through this, I will leave my booking page down below because you can book a free consultation with me. That's down below. Feel free to check out the rest of my YouTube channel. I am kind of new here, so I'm working my YouTube channel up. If you have more video suggestions, throw them in the comments as well. Again, I'm a former ER nurse and I'm here to help you not become an ER patient. Okay? All right. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe.